Hey Jason, here from Simply Swider. Is your Whirlpool freezer not freezing properly? Before you panic and think you need an expensive compressor replacement, I've got good news. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 common causes of freezer failures and many cost under $60 to fix. Most of the time, it's not that expensive sealed system failure you're worried about. It's usually something simple and cheap. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group, links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. Now, when your freezer's not freezing, it often comes down to heat exchange issues. Your refrigeration system needs to move heat from inside the freezer to the outside air. When something breaks that process, you get problems. Here's how common these issues really are. About 30% of the time, it's dirty condenser coils blocking heat release. Around 25%, it's a defrost system failure causing ice buildup. About 15% of cases, it's a failed start relay that people think is a dead compressor. The heat exchange process is pretty simple. Your compressor pumps refrigerant through coils and fans move air to complete the cycle. You'll see your compressor running constantly and the outside of the freezer feels warm to the touch. What's happening is dust, pet hair, and grease build up on those coils at the bottom or back of your unit, creating what I call a dust blanket that prevents heat from escaping. Here's your 15-minute fix. First, unplug the unit for safety and pull it out from the wall. You'll need a vacuum with a brush attachment and possibly a flashlight. Look for the condenser coils at the bottom or back. They'll be covered in a thick layer of dust, pet hair, and debris. Vacuum thoroughly, working the brush between the coil fins to remove all buildup. I had this customer last week whose Whirlpool was running 24/7, and after a simple coil cleaning, it was back to normal cycles. This can often be done every 6, 12 months, especially if you've got pets. Don't use a pressure washer, that'll just push debris deeper into the coils. You'll notice thick frost buildup on the back wall of your freezer compartment that looks like a solid sheet of ice. What's happening is one of 3 components failed: the defrost thermostat, heater, or timer. The bimetal thermostat is supposed to sense when the coils are cold enough to allow the heater to run and melt frost. Here's what you're going to do. First, listen during a manual defrost cycle. If the sizzling sound is absent, your heater is probably dead. To test the thermostat, you'll need a basic multimeter, about $15 at any hardware store. Remove the back panel and locate the small thermostat clipped to the evaporator coils. Set your multimeter to continuity mode and touch the probes to the thermostat terminals. You should hear a beep or see near 0 ohms on the display. No beep means it's failed and needs replacement. For the heater, test continuity across the terminals. These parts run $15.60 each, and the repair beats buying a new freezer. You'll hear this clicking sound every few minutes, then silence. What's happening is the start relay that gives your compressor its electrical kick has failed. Usually the ceramic disc inside shatters. Here's what you're going to do. Locate the compressor compartment and find the small black relay plugged into the side of the compressor. Pull it off and do the shake test. If it rattles like broken glass, that ceramic disc shattered and it's dead. Don't make the mistake most people do and blame the compressor. This $20.55 part failure sounds exactly like a dead compressor, but replacing the relay fixes it instantly. The clicking is actually the overload protector tripping because the relay can't start the motor properly. You'll notice the freezer feels cold when you open it, but air isn't moving around inside. What's happening is the fan motor that circulates cold air throughout the compartment has seized up, usually bearing failure. Here's what you're going to do. Remove the back panel inside the freezer and locate the evaporator fan. Try spinning it manually. If it doesn't turn freely or makes grinding noises, the motor's shot. You might also hear loud groaning or squealing from the back of the freezer before it fails completely. The cold coils tell you the refrigeration system works fine, but without air circulation, nothing freezes properly. This motor runs $5110 and requires removing the internal panel. You'll see visible gaps in the rubber seal or notice heavy frost that looks like snow near the door edges. What's happening is warm, moist air is getting into the freezer through a torn or warped gasket. Here's what you're going to do. Perform the paper test. Close a dollar bill in the door and try pulling it out. If it slides out easily, your seal's compromised. Check the entire gasket for tears, warping, or food residue that prevents proper sealing. Clean it first with warm soapy water. Sometimes that's all it needs. If it's torn or permanently warped, replacement runs $70, $185, but it's a straightforward DIY job. The start relay is your most critical component. It provides that electrical surge to start the compressor motor. Use the shake test for quick diagnosis or test continuity with a multimeter. The defrost thermostat controls when frost gets melted off the coils. Test for continuity when it's cold. Condenser coils need visual inspection for that dust blanket. Here's a critical money-saving tip that could save you hundreds. A failed start relay makes the exact same clicking and rattling sounds as a seized compressor. The difference, the relay costs $20 to replace, while a compressor failure means buying a new freezer. Often do the 30-second shake test on the relay first. If it rattles like broken glass, you can find your problem and save yourself from an unnecessary appliance purchase. Safety tip: avoid using sharp tools like ice picks, knives, or screwdrivers to remove frost, as they may damage surfaces or pose risks. These thin evaporator lines are often under pressure, and one small puncture can leak all your refrigerant, potentially turning a $50 repair into a $1,200 appliance replacement, depending on the vehicle. I see this expensive mistake weekly. Instead, unplug the unit and let it defrost naturally, or use a hairdryer on low heat. Don't replace the control board first when troubleshooting cooling issues. Check that $50 evaporator fan motor before spending $300 on electronics. When working near the compressor, you should often discharge the run capacitor first, or you can get a nasty shock depending on the system. Don't splice thermistor wires directly. That changes resistance values and permanently messes up temperature readings. And never assume the compressor is dead just because you hear clicking. Test that start relay first. Whirlpool French door models from 2012 to 2019 often have a major frost clog issue that was subject to a class action settlement. Dual evaporator defect can cause ice blockages in many models. The WRS 315 SDHW and WRS 325 SDHZ models have thermistors that fall off their clips, causing warm refrigerator symptoms. Bottom freezer models use these jazz control boards that fail constantly and are often on back order. Some techs report frustration with ductbill drain valve designs that can clog with debris and contribute to water backups. We often cut a V-notch in it or replace it with a P-trap design to permanently fix the drainage issue. Here's your action plan. Start with the free 15-minute coil cleaning first. This fixes 30% of freezer problems immediately. If that doesn't work, move to the $20 start relay shake test, then check for frost buildup. Follow this order and you'll solve 85% of freezing issues in under an hour. Remember, the most expensive mistake is assuming you need a new compressor without testing these simple fixes first. Watch for early warning signs like soft ice cream or changes in compressor noise. Keeping your freezer about 3/4 full can provide optimal thermal mass, and cleaning those coils every 6 months often helps maintain efficiency. If you guys know someone who's having appliance troubles, please send them the link to this video or a link to my channel where I have tons of other videos showing how to fix pretty common issues with appliances, sometimes for free or as little cost as possible. It sure beats having a repairman come out and spending several hundred for them to fix it when it could be something so simple. If this helped you get your freezer working again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll get this out to more folks who need to save some time and money. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.